up more than 2.5% in overtime. Here are those results. Major news, first of all, in ServiceNow's release. A beat on both lines for Q2. A miss to inline on Q3 for the subscription guide, with management pointing to currency headwinds as the culprit there. At the same time, though, ServiceNow is raising the full-year subscription revenue guide, which would imply Q4, by $33 million at the midpoint to offset an incremental $20 million headwind from currency. So that would be 22% year-over-year growth in constant currency. Now, here's the big non-financial news in this release. The departure of ServiceNow's number 2, CJ Desai, the president and chief operating officer. This after the determination that company policy was violated in last year's hiring of Raj Iyer, the former chief information officer of the U.S. Army, who had been leading some of ServiceNow's government business development efforts. I spoke with ServiceNow CEO Bill McDermott about all of this, bring you some of that perspective in just a moment. But first, let me get you the numbers. ServiceNow's overall Q2 revenue comes in at $2.68 billion. That's better than the $2.61 expected. Subscription revenue, $2.55 billion, above the top end of the guide at $2.53. Earnings per share, $3.13 versus $2.83 expected. On the subscription guide for Q3, ServiceNow is giving a range of $2.66 to $2.665 billion versus expectations of $2.67. So roughly in line there. Now, on the backlog of business, CRPO, or current remaining performance obligations, ServiceNow reports $8.84 billion versus $8.68 perspective. Now, as I said, I did speak with CEO Bill McDermott about the quarter. I started with some of those concerns out there that Gen AI demand might not be real and sustainable. Bill told me this. He said, let me tell you what's really going on, and it ain't that. Our Gen AI Now Assist platform doubled quarter over quarter and net new ACV, that's average contract value. In fact, he said, we had 11 Now Assist deals that were greater than 1 million, 2 of them that were greater than 5 million. Now, on the departures of Ayer and particularly Desai, he said this: we know that this was obviously a very isolated incident, but we are further sharpening our hiring policies and procedures as a result of the situation. So I think that it should be clear to you that when you put discretion, utmost integrity, and complete transparency at the front of everything you do, I expect that to be reflected. He went on to say, if you look at our Fed business, John, it's up 50% year over year in our Fed customers. We actually have one across 100 million ACV in the second quarter. We love our government business. We would never compromise the integrity of ServiceNow under any circumstances. But as you know, when it comes to our government business and the pride that we have for it, there is zero room for error. We don't grade on a curve.